is with me and Will Link and Michael Horn, who you just heard. I want to give you an introduction here.
Hello to both.
How are you, darling?
I'm doing great, Nance. How you doing?
Great, thanks, sweetie.
I have your first CD.
Okay.
This sounds not, don't get me wrong, don't misread this. That's fabulous. This sounds ultra fabulous.
Well,
why?
I don't know.
But is it a different background or different group?
No, you have. Which one do you have? That's the first CD. Was By Myself or?
Well, it's Drinking
one,
Again and.
It's the one with you standing on the street.
Oh, that's Thinking of When. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just different. Two different approaches. One was more orchestral and bigger orchestra, and the other one was a little more intimate. It's just a different approach to the Great American Songbook.
Anyway.
Dennis, how's your show going?
It's going great. Thank you.
Dennis has a radio show, and Dennis, tell everybody about your show.
Well, it's sort of a throwback. It's sort of like the old Johnny Carson show. And, I do it in front of a live audience each week of 500 people, and all the celebrities come on. Of course, I come on and perform and sing a song, do a little bit of monologue, and bring all the celebrities on, and they perform and promote what it is they're doing in town or whatever project they're working on. And, it's been just an absolutely joyous ride. We've just celebrated our 12th anniversary on the air.
Wow.
And
right.
we're on like 12 times a week across the United States in different markets. So we're having a ball.
Well,
sounds like fun.
You're not going to put the Kardashians on, are you?
No. We don't get everything.
That was a slap.
No, it's all the performers that are coming through. I mean, we've had everybody. Larry, you've been on the show before when you were in town some years back. But,
I loved it. Yeah.
We've had everybody from, Celine to Steve Lawrence to Debbie Reynolds to, we have the celebrities that are appearing in town, but we have acts that are sort of in the trenches performing all the time here in Las Vegas. And we have, every once in a while, we bring on a newcomer, a new discovery, try to give them as much exposure as possible. So it's a real win-win situation, and I'll be honest with you, it's the best time I've had in this business in a long time. I still get a chance to do what I enjoy most, sing, and bring on other guests and give them the opportunity to perform and promote what it is they're doing. So
you're at the South Point, is that correct?
Right. This is our second year at the South Point. We were 5 years at one venue, 5 years at another venue, and we just celebrated 2 years at the South Point, which is on the South Strip. It's Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel. Casino and Spa, and it's just a magnificent 500-seat showroom.
Wow.
And we tape every Thursday at 2, and then we edit on Friday, and then it airs, in different markets across the country at different times. But it's really wonderful venue, and Michael Gaughan being an old hotel guy, a vintage Vegas kind of.
Michael Gaughan, as in Jackie Gaughan, the famed name?
That's right, Jackie's son. That's correct.
Oh, it's Jackie's son.
The Binion era.
Okay.
Yeah, they come from the glory days of vintage Vegas, and guys like this, they knew how to treat performers and guests and the people, and it's a throwback to the way Vegas was before it kind of went down the corporate route, and it's an absolute joy to work with him and for him at that property, and we have a ball every week. It's just terrific.
Now, do you still have bootleggers?
Oh, of course.
Wait, what do you mean by bootleggers? What does that mean?
Well, this is before your time, Mike.
What is a bootlegger?
We have to bring you to Las Vegas.
Yeah, tell me, what's that?
It's one of the most magnificent restaurant nightclubs ever.
Oh.
It's amazing. It's been in the family. My mother-in-law came out with her husband to Las Vegas in 1943, and they opened up a restaurant called the Fremont Street Pizzeria, and then they opened up a place called the Venetian. Then they opened up a place called the Bootlegger back in the early 70s, and that was on Tropicana and Eastern. And then about 12 years ago, they opened. My wife opened the property on the Strip, and it's the Bootlegger Bistro on Las Vegas Boulevard. And it's legendary. It really is a throwback to the glorious days of Las Vegas. We've had everybody there from Frank Sinatra to George Bush, and we never close, 24/7, entertainment 7 nights a week. I don't get too involved in the restaurant, I kind of their expertise is that, so I kind of our offices are there, and we have a recording studio on the property as well. But yeah, it's really people love to come from all over the country.
And don't visiting celebrities and the people that work there, don't they work out there in the nightclub?
Oh yeah, they come in like on Monday nights. It's open mic night, and a lot of the performers on the Strip that are in production shows and stuff, where they're constantly playing a particular role, like let's say somebody from the cast of Jersey Boys, and they come in on a Monday night and their night off, and they get a chance to perform as themselves. So,
wow.
We get a little bit of everybody, and it really is terrific. It's a great venue.
Speaking of starting out, I just want to spend a couple of minutes. You started off on the East Coast, right?
Well, I was born in Hartford, Connecticut, and it's an interesting story. I guess, I grew up in an Italian-American family, and music was always in our household. Music was such an important part of our lives. Music was constantly playing in the house and in the car. We sang, and it was just an important part of growing up. I mean, as a matter of fact, I got thrown out of kindergarten at 5 years old for doing an impression of Johnny Ray while the other kids are doing "I'm a Little Teapot." You know what I mean?
That's pretty good. I like that.
Right.
So that's kind of where I got started. But Hartford, Connecticut was my home, and I was educated there, and always was on the fringes of the entertainment business, meaning sang in bands and country clubs and whatever I could, grab onto when it came to the Great American Songbook, even though I loved the music of my peers, the 60s and all that stuff. But, I kind of I evolved into doing it as a career and went on the road and tried to learn my craft. And, a lot of wonderful things happened in my life because of that.
So let's cut to the gist, because I know, and I'd like the world to know, how Dennis Bono was hatched out of this magnificent egg.
Yeah, how do you go from being a kid singing in the car and doing
him?
Johnny Ray?
Yeah,
Can you hang in with us here, Dennis?
Hang in, Dennis.
Yeah.
Got to hear that story. We got to find out, because I'm sure after getting thrown out of kindergarten, it didn't just launch you into an overnight career. Although, how is your Johnny Ray impression? Is it pretty good, Dennis?
Not so much anymore. I don't think I get down on my hands and knees and rip open my shirt the way I did when I was 5.
Oh, boy. Well, he really did get thrown out of school.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's
pretty
funny.
good, ladies and gentlemen. All right, the great Dennis Bono is here. That's the Larry Manetti, Nancy Manetti. It's the PM Show Weekend Edition, Coast to Coast with the Manettis on CRN Digital Talk Radio. Got some callers standing by. We'll get to your calls as well. 800-336-2225. 800-336-2225. And the email address, lmanetti, MANETTI, at crni.net. We got some emails to read as well. Stay with us.